Had soldiers coming home caskets. They wouldn't even let us take pictures of them, incidentally. The press is banned from that. You can't see them coming in like they used to the airport with dozens and dozens of caskets with flags on them. We're also banned from the hospitals and the funeral homes in Iraq because we might actually keep real count. I wonder what the real count is. They don't tell us, really. Okay, at any rate, enough of that. I'm going to go on. I'm going to give us a public announcement. We have a public affairs announcement, and then I'll go right into a long, wonderful discussion with Fred, and we will open the telephones. Here you go. This is for you.
Dee Dee, don't do this.
Walter, there's something calling me out.
Where's Mort?
I have to go find it.
Every weekend, millions of middle-aged adults head out the door to take on a new sport. Or pick up where they left off in a sport they haven't played in years. This is a good thing, but there could be a downside. New physical activities bring new stresses to bones, muscles, and joints. A good reason to take new sports one step at a time, with plenty of stretching and warming up. And remember, weekend warriors are flirting with danger. Your body does a better job avoiding injuries with a sensible fitness program you follow every day. Fitness is good, but exercise common sense. A public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, who remind you to get up, get out, and get moving.
I'm back.
Olé.
Okay. Thank you. That's a wonderful little notice for everybody. We have a guy here, we always have every Saturday morning, and he gives up a lot of time, and he tells it as it is. He shoots from the hip. The geezer, Mort Flexer. Good morning, Mort.
Good morning, Reed. Let me tell you that the shortage of nursing bed homes is not nearly as short as the problem of assisted living facilities. For people my age, Reed, 1 out of every 2 of us is in an assisted living facility. And it costs darn near as much as a nursing home.
How much is that, Mort?
About $175 a day.
Which averages out for a year?
So don't do that to me.
Okay. Well,
$80,000 roughly?
Yeah, that's insanity, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And it's a very serious problem that I'll put off for another day because there was something else I wanted to talk about. Yesterday morning, I woke up with some chest pains and difficulty breathing. So I didn't send for an ambulance like an idiot. I walked over to the hospital, but just about 2 village streets over. And I had forgotten how marvelous the care is at Westfield Memorial Hospital. They took me in immediately. I was seen immediately by a physician's assistant. Before I could open my mouth, I was tied up to a cardiac monitor, and I was put on oxygen. And I just have to tell you that it was one of the most impressive experiences I've had because of the professional attitude of the people and the obvious fact that they knew what the heck they were doing. Now, I don't know if Westfield Memorial is any better than the other hospitals in the county. In my experience, they're a heck of a lot better than most of the hospitals I've ever been in or ever worked in. And they're being threatened by the state, apparently, with closure of the emergency room. Right now, we've gone through closure of the inpatient side.
And we're not hearing any sound here.
You're not?
Not my ear.
Well,
You hear any sound?
I
hear more.
I don't want to yell into the microphone, Reed. I know I'm holding it close enough. But in any event, we're being threatened with the possible closure of the emergency room. It was terrible enough that they closed the hospital, the inpatient side. The service there, I can tell you, was fabulous. And now, threatened to lose our hospital entirely. It's extremely difficult in the northwest corner of our county, Reed. We have so many Amish who have to ride horse and buggies to get to a hospital. And so many older people like me whose family has moved away or died off, and we're short of transportation. And I don't think you want people older than I am doing much driving in this county. But in any event, let's face up to it, folks. We're facing a serious problem. Send a letter to your congressperson, state, or to the governor, and let him know, keep your damned hands off Westfield and northern Chautauqua County. Thank you, Reed.
Well, thank you, Mark. Incidentally, sending a letter to your congressman isn't going to do much good because he has little to do with it, and sending a letter to the legislature has no good because they can apply a little pressure, but they're not allowed to vote on this. They have no vote, no say. Department of Health of State of New York is the one who's done it, and the guy in charge there has overturned the original Berger Commission decision that we could keep our emergency room because we're a rural community, and in a city you could get to a hospital within seconds or minutes. Here it would take a 30-minute ride to get to the closest hospital. That's death if you've had a stroke or a heart attack because you've got to get there fast. And so this will kill a lot of our rural community, not just Westfield, but all the communities around us. Chautauqua, which has dozens of seniors, millions of seniors come through it. It has all the seniors around the area. We're going to be heavily affected because we're the most prone to heart attacks and strokes. But everybody else who has an accident, a car accident or whatever, that magic time is gone because you're going to have to travel for 15, 20, 30 minutes, even by helicopter takes longer than that because it takes a long time to get there. So it's going to kill a lot of us out in the country. We don't have apparently the same rights and privileges as the cities do that have large hospitals all around where you can get there in minutes. I think we ought to, and so the guy to check with is who runs the Department of Health for New York State, and tell him that this is insanity. Why would they close a hospital that's actually doing very well for peanuts and kill a whole community of rural people who theoretically should have the same opportunity for life as anybody in the cities has? Get on this one. Let's go after them. Let's hope that we can convince them that we really do need this hospital. We have thousands of people who come in under emergency conditions every year. Children. So the Amish, they have no hope if they close this hospital. And I mean, not the hospital. They already closed the hospital. We're just talking about the emergency room, guys. The emergency room where you can go for emergencies. When you're bleeding to death, when you've had a stroke, a heart attack, you're in deep trouble for one reason or another. That's what we need. And let's hope we can convince the Department of Health and the guy who runs it that he should keep this open for our rural communities. Enough said. Fred Crosscut, county legislator for 1,000,000 years. How many years?
Well, I served 12 years.
12 years. You're going to run again?
I'm
You are
certainly
running
looking
again.
forward. Yes,
Okay.
I'm running again, looking forward to serving
Okay,
2
well,
more
this is
years.
the last chance you could be on because I close off all people running for election in November.
Well,
I
I'm
did
very
in
proud
October,
to be here.
in October,
Yeah.
too.
Well, thank you for having me
So
on.
you just squeezed it in.
I did. I'm glad.
Well, you're here as, not to run, of course, you're here to talk to us a little bit about the legislature, what's going on. I think people are very interested, especially about the tax question. We can bring that up.
Yep.
Seniors, of course, are probably going to lose their homes again. There's a column, it used to be about a quarter of a page of foreclosures. Now it looks like there's 2 pages coming up. I see a whole page of foreclosures
Right.
in the paper. People are losing their homes right and left, and seniors particularly. So let's talk about it, Fred. What's on the top priority in the agenda for you in the legislature right now that we should know about?
Well, obviously, I've listened to my constituents, and that's the #1 job that I have. But in view of what you just said with the budget, the county executive did come out this week with his 010 budget, and it did contain a tax levy decrease, and it contained a tax rate decrease, which I was honestly surprised because with what's happening in the state, there's a lot of unknowns that we don't really know what they're going to take away from us in mid-year because of the deficit that's been building across New York State. But the county executive was dedicated to dropping his tax rate and levy 4 years in a row. As you sit here and talk and I listen to you, I'm a senior citizen. I certainly don't want to be living in my child's basement eating dog food, I think, as you said.
Cat food.
Cat food.
Dog food you can't eat, you know?
Right.
You know why?
Why?
It contains bone. and you cannot digest bone, and it'll be a very serious illness. You'll wind up in the Westfield Memorial. No, I guess you'll wind up in Dunkirk or Town because they're going to close the emergency room.